Hey everybody, I'm Jason from Fuzzlord Effects, and in this video I'm going to be opening up this amplifier head shell that I just got in the mail. So I'm building a custom 120 watt tube amplifier to use for demos on the channel, and I'm also going to be posting some progress videos on this channel, so be sure you subscribe if you haven't. And also going to be talking a lot about the build process on the Patreon page. So before we get started, big thank you to all of the supporters on the Patreon page and everyone that's grabbing t-shirts below these videos. Let's get started opening up this head shell that I just got in the mail. All right, so before I open this up, I just want to tell you a little bit more about where this came from and the kind of idea behind the project. So been wanting to build a 120 watt amplifier to use for the Fuzzlord demos and just use to play music myself. So I found Samp Custom Cabs through Instagram, who's in Belarus, and he does custom pedal boards and speaker cabs and head shells. So got a hold of him, got talking, and then it turned into this whole thing where I sent him over all these custom design files, and then he built a chassis with all of the major drilling done in the steel chassis, and then built a head shell around it, and then got the front plate screen printed to my art files that I sent him. So we're going to be doing more videos on the Fuzzlord Effects channel of this build process, and of course on the Patreon page. So with that being said, let's open this up. I've been wanting to build another amplifier for a really long time. Some of you that have followed the channel for a while have probably seen some of the old amp videos. So one of the reasons I haven't been able to build the amp that I've been wanting in a long time is because I just really wanted it to be in a nice head shell. And 120 watt amplifiers have really big transformers. So ideally you want a chassis made out of steel that's actually strong enough to hold them, especially if you're trying to ship them. I've seen some amplifiers that didn't have a strong enough of a chassis, like the actual metal chassis inside the amp that holds all the parts. And transformers could be so heavy that when they get dropped or something in shipment, the whole transformer would bend into the chassis. So when I was looking around on Reverb, and I saw Samp Custom Cabs had this green Mad Amp style head shell. Let me grab a chair so I can talk to everybody a little bit. Okay, so I was on Reverb and I was looking around at different amp parts and stuff, and I stumbled across Samp Custom Cabs, and he had this green Mad Amp style head shell all loaded up and ready to go, and I thought it looked really nice. So I got to emailing back and forth with him, and the more we talked, I was asking him to drill out the green head shell for some tube sockets and stuff, and then the more we talked, it just kind of turned into a custom amplifier build. So we talked back and forth, and I got the design files from him, the blueprints of the amplifier, the chassis and the actual head shell, because this is an orange or a Mad Amp style head shell, and went back and forth, got the design files, and then gave Samp Custom Cabs all of the drill layout and all that kind of stuff with all the diameters of the holes. And the big selling point to me was that he was using actual steel chassis. So we went back and forth, and eventually he sent me the CAD files of the actual blueprint of the chassis and the head shell. And then after I sent him my drill layout, he sent me another blueprint that showed all of my custom order, like all of like the custom drilling and stuff. And damn, this is so nice. So again, this is like a Mad Amp style head shell, or like orange chassis. This is fresh. He just finished it up, so it still smells like glue. But I wanted something that I hadn't seen before in the Mad Amp or orange amplifiers. I wanted something that was like an OR120 or a GT120, but I wanted something all black, like the Fuzzlord pedals. This is nice. I wasn't sure if I was going to get something like this when I ordered it. It has the nice vent on the back of the cab for the ventilation of the tubes. Yeah, fuck, that's awesome. Alright, so like I mentioned before, one of the issues I've had with building myself the amplifiers I wanted and offering Fuzzlord amplifiers to the public was that it was really hard to get the proper style chassis for the orange or Mad Amp style like look and head shell, because it's a very specific chassis size and construction that goes with creating that. So I was finding aluminum chassis available, like custom order, but they just weren't strong enough. They work, there's nothing wrong with them, and there's ways to reinforce them and stuff, but I was just thinking like shipping it far, and I didn't want anything to happen to the transformers like we talked about, where they drop in shipping and then like flex on the chassis. But this is actually a steel chassis. It's really thick, and I couldn't have asked for better. So I still haven't seen the front. Let's flip it around so we can see the front. Man, this feels nice. Fuck. So check out the piping and stuff. Or is it called welting? This is the English style black Tolex, like the grain in it has the vent for the tubes right there. Nice handle, got all the corners and stuff, well, metal corners. The back of the chassis looks really nice. I like how this was left open. Got my output jacks, the 3 different speaker types. This is going to be like 216s and an 8. And then over here got some holes for fuses, and then the IEC socket. So let's open up this front panel very carefully. Alright, so that is the front of the chassis. This thing's going to be so fun to build. I'm really looking forward to doing this and sharing some videos on the channel. Especially for everybody on Patreon. This is all this front part of the head shell here, this actual black part. Let me turn it so you can see it a little better. Is part of the chassis. This piece of steel on the front actually wraps around and is part of the actual chassis that holds the transformers and the tubes. And in another video, I'll take this chassis out, we'll slide it out, and it has these cool like roll bars. So you can flip the amp up on its backside or on its top and service the amplifier with all the tubes and everything dangling. It's one of the coolest things of all the old orange and matte amp designs. Alright, so I'm still getting in here. Alright everybody, that's what it's going to look like. Got a little bit of adhesive I need to clean off from that protective sticker, but that is the Fuzzlord FTW120. Keep your eye out on the channel for more videos because I'm going to be building this over the next couple weeks. Just waiting on a few more parts to show up. Again, big thank you to Samp Custom Cabs for helping make this happen. Got a hold of him and I thought the price that I paid for it was really fair for what it was. So, which is a lot of custom work, to be quite honest with you. Between the drilling and the chassis, the print on the front, that looks like, this is aluminum that was like anodized on the top, or it might be powder coat, but I don't think it is. And then it looks like it was laser etched, so there's actually like aluminum grain showing in this. That's what I think it is. I'll talk to him about that and ask. So this has all the little dots marked out, so it looks like I'm going to drill this out to match the chassis. At least that's what I think I'm going to do. Or use a little reamer to help line everything up. So, man, drop a comment below and let me know what you think of this thing, or what style of circuit you think it should be. It's not quite, it's kind of going to be a little bit of everything. So we'll talk about that in the upcoming videos, of course. So again, big thank you for checking out the video, supporting the channel. Last big thanks to all of our Patreon supporters whose names are running on the screen. These are all folks that just chip in a couple bucks a month over at the Patreon page and really help with the cost of running this YouTube channel. So again, really appreciate each and every one of you for supporting the channel. Also, there's t-shirts and like banners and other kinds of merch available below this video. Really appreciate everyone who's been grabbing those. And final big thanks, shout out to our producer level supporter, Rustin Rossenberger. Really appreciate what you're doing, man. Again, I'm Jason from Fuzzlord Effects, and I will see you in the next video, but I look forward to talking to you all in the comments.